Hello, experts. I hope you all are well. So, I wanted to make a video about the popular Amityville horror case. The Amityville horror is one of the most popular cases by the popular supernatural duo known as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lorraine Warren was a self-proclaimed psychic and medium, whilst Ed Warren was the acclaimed priest and exorcist. I made a separate video about them if you wish to go check it out. But the Emmett Horror is one of their many cases that they documented, and it's one of the case that sparked the popular horror film known as the Emmett Horror. That's probably what most of you think of when you hear of this title, but this is actually based off a alleged true case. Now, what is the Emmett Horror? According to records, the Emmett Horror was a murder case where five people were murdered at a Long Island residence in 1974. Approximately 30 to 35 miles outside of New York City nestled the Long Island town known as Amityville. The house stands forever linked to the Amityville Horror, as they call it. According to records, in 1974, on November 13th, the estate was the scene of a mass murder using a 35 millimeter rifle by the 20-year-old known as Ronald J. DeFeo Jr. He murdered his entire family while they were asleep, including his parents and his four siblings. Now, firstly, I would like to say that although this case is heavily connected to the overall Amityville haunting case by Ed and Lorraine Warren, there could potentially be other underlying factors that went on within this house as well. So, approximately after this murder trial took place, Ronald J. DeFeo got arrested and everything had happened. The house was soon purchased approximately 13 months later by the Lutz family. The price had drastically reduced to just about $80,000 due to the murders that had transpired within the house recent. But according to reports, the family only lasted 28 days within the house before leaving. When the Lutz family was reached out to by news reporters, and definitely due to the murder case and the exact reasons why they left the house so quickly, the Lutz family would propose shocking tales of paranormal activity that transpired within the house that disturbed them to such a degree they decided to leave the home approximately 28 days later after purchasing the home. And that is the tales from their stories about this paranormal phenomenon that sparked the thing that we know as the Amityville Horror when it comes to the films, the documentaries, the books, and obviously the Ed and Lorraine Warren case. Now, I want to play an original clip of the first news reporting regarding the mass murder. So, trigger warning to whoever watches this video, please skip over it. I will try to list the timestamps within my description or on the captions.
He opened the door, and he was screaming, "Come on, help me. Somebody shot my mother and father." And everyone ran out of the bar, and that was it. They all took off. No, I had to stay. I was tending bar. They all jumped in his car and took off.
Today, police combed the DeFeo's handsome three-story house for clues while divers explored the backyard swimming pool for the still unfound murder weapon. Police have been questioning the son, Ronald, and now say he is being, quote, safeguarded. Investigators say without explanation that they now feel young DeFeo was in the house at the time of the murders, but they're not yet considering him a suspect.
And so
We
forth.
have no suspect at this time. We have no indication of the motive at this time.
What about Ronald DeFeo, the son, the surviving son?
Ronald is being safeguarded by the Suffolk County Police at this time.
Why safeguarded?
Why? Because there's 6 members of the family dead, and we don't know why, and he's the sole remaining member.
Is he also a suspect?
He's not a suspect at this time.
Few people in the neighborhood knew the family well, but those who did described them as close-knit.
Well, I think they were just very sweet, very religious people, very family-minded people. And that's about all I could say. Very good, very generous, this type. Very close with their children.
There's one element in the usual mass murder story which seems to be missing from this case. There's no sense of fear in this community. No feeling of a mass murderer on the loose. People we talked to seem to feel that whatever was the motive for this crime, it had something to do with the family. It's not something that's going to return to bother anyone else. In Amityville, Long Island, Phil Barno, News Center 4.
Now, where the infamy of this exact haunting case transpires is that although it is an indisputable fact that a murder, a tragedy happened within this home. And it is highly possible that a poltergeist was created of some source within the home. When it comes to the Lutz family actual statements, when it comes to what transpired within the house and how it transpired within the films, the documentaries, the movies, and even by Ed and Lorraine Warren acclaim, it creates a lot of question and a lot of skepticism from, again, regular just typical skeptics alike, and just with the inconsistencies that appeared there. The next video I'm going to play a snippet of will be the original Good Morning America interview of the Lutz family regarding the movie and the accuracies of what it depicted within the original film.
13 minutes up right now. Back in November 1975, 6 people were killed in an awful mass murder. I know it's got to be awful, in a small town on Long Island. The town is called Amityville. The murders took place in this house. 1 year later, George and Kathleen Lutz bought the house, and they moved into it with their 3 children. After living there for 28 days, they were convinced the house was possessed by some kind of evil force, and they left their belongings, and they fled, and they were really terrified. The events that supposedly took place there during those 28 days have been put down in a best-selling book. It's called The Amityville Horror, and there is now a movie out, or about to come out, of the book. George and Kathleen Lutz are with us this morning to talk about what happened during those 28 days in Amityville. And James Brolin, super young man, actor.
Thank you.
Yes, much pleasure. Good to see you again, Jim. He plays George Lutz in the movie, and Jim is with us this morning, and it's great seeing you again.
Great seeing you again.
Lutzes, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
All right, first of all, the book and the movie depict all these kind of weird, strange things that happened in the house during those 28 days when you were there. What kind of things, George, happened physically? What were some of the things that happened that scared you?
Well, at first, just moving into the house was fine. It's a lovely house.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed moving in. Within a week, Kathy's hand had been touched by something that we discussed and couldn't explain. It was just something unseen. Within...
I mean, this is in the daylight, or was it?
Yes,
It was during the day.
Right.
Okay.
We also had hordes of flies that would appear within 2 rooms. And no matter how many times we would kill them, they would reappear.
All right, now flies can be a real problem in this part of the country in the summer,
Sure.
in any house, you know.
But if you have 2 or 3 or 4 within 1 room, that could be commonplace.
And it
But
was
when
the
you're
winter.
talking over 100,
Well, this was the winter.
yes,
And you're talking about how many?
over 100
Over
flies
100
at
flies.
one time.
Now, due to the absolute surge in popularity of their stories, the book, the movie, and just everything that was transpiring, a lot of people questioned the integrity of their story, because obviously when the money starts to get involved, it kind of puts a bad taste in some people's mouth, because they feel as if they're taking advantage and trying to gain clout off of a very real tragedy when it came to just the family, the murder that happened within the home. And along with everything else that was going on when it came to this film, and just the acclaim it brought for the Lotz family, and just with everyone involved within it, there was a lot of clout chasers as well. There was a lot of fake people and people performing, just doing a lot of things, the typical things that happen when it comes to hysteria, when alleged supernatural phenomena occurs, just the hysteria that happens with the masses, or with just certain people within the supernatural interested or occultic community that occurs. And that often left a lot of bad taste in people's mouth, to where people in question the integrity of the story as a whole. But overall, I can make a part 2 if you guys enjoyed this. Please make sure you like, share, and follow. And let me know what you believe. Do you believe that there is some truth and validity to this story and some of the acclaims that they listed as happened? Do you guys wish for me to post a full interview by Good Morning America regarding the Lutz family, just so you can get the full context? Let me know your thoughts below. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace out. Bye.